It was an ordinary afternoon, one of those quiet stretches of time where everything feels predictable. The sun was beginning its slow descent over downtown Chicago, tinting the buildings in a golden hue. I had a couple of hours free between meetings and decided to unwind at Brewed Awakenings, a cafe I'd frequented for years. The comforting hum of conversation, the soft clatter of cups, the hiss of the espresso machine, and mellow indie music gave the place its usual calm. I needed a break, just a moment to catch my breath from the relentless grind. As I pushed open the door, the bell above it chimed gently. The cafe was busy, as usual, but I spotted my favorite table near the window and instinctively looked to see if it was free. That's when I saw her. Emily, my wife. She sat bathed in the warm glow of the afternoon light, looking effortlessly beautiful. Her brown hair spilled over her shoulders, and her green eyes shimmered under the sun. She was laughing, that carefree, melodic laugh that once made everything in the world feel right. It had been a long time since I'd heard it like that, but something felt wrong. At first, I couldn't quite place the discomfort that rippled through me. Then I noticed him, the man sitting across from her. He looked polished, confident. Short, styled hair. A clean face. His posture was open, casual, leaning in just slightly as he listened to her. The way their eyes met, the small smiles they exchanged. It was all too easy, too close. My stomach twisted. Was I overthinking it? Maybe they were just work friends. But something deep in me knew better. I should have walked away right then, but I couldn't. My legs carried me slowly into the room as my heart pounded in my chest. She hadn't seen me yet. I hovered near the counter, unsure whether to confront or retreat. And then she looked up. Her eyes locked onto mine, and in that instant, everything paused. The smile vanished from her face. Her posture stiffened. Her eyes widened with something close to fear. Then she glanced away, pretending she hadn't seen me. But I had already seen enough. The man turned to me and smiled politely, extending his hand. "Hey, I'm Mark. Emily and I work together," he said, as if it were just another introduction. His tone was relaxed, too relaxed. Something about his smile didn't sit right. Mark. That name would stick in my mind like a splinter. I shook his hand. "I'm Ion," I replied, struggling to keep my voice steady, though it cracked at the edges. My palm was clammy. Emily stood up awkwardly, clearly thrown. She tried to speak, but nothing came out. The silence around us pressed down like a weight. Finally, she muttered, "Ion, I didn't expect you to be here." Those words hit harder than any accusation. She hadn't even tried to hide this. No effort to explain, no instinct to cover it up. Just shock that I'd walked in on it. I stood there, absorbing the weight of her betrayal. How long had it been going on? How many evenings had she claimed to be working late? How many times had I been lied to without hesitation? I turned toward her, barely able to speak. "Is this why you've been so distant?" She didn't respond. Her eyes dropped to the floor. Without saying anything more, I turned and left the cafe. The cold outside smacked me in the face like a wake-up call. I felt like I was gasping for air, the pressure in my chest unbearable. I needed to move, to think, to get away from everything. My thoughts were in chaos as I walked toward my car. I drove without direction, without a plan. Eventually, I found myself parked outside our apartment. I sat in silence, hands locked around the steering wheel, staring blankly through the windshield. My mind replayed everything. The red flags I had ignored, the nights I spent wondering what was wrong, the moments I told myself things were fine. I didn't want to confront her. I didn't want excuses or forced apologies. I just wanted her to understand what she had done, to feel the depth of the damage she caused. I went upstairs to our apartment. The place was still quiet. Only the fridge hummed softly in the background. I grabbed a pen and some paper. No hesitation, no planning. Just instinct. I wrote what I felt. "Don't come home." I folded the note neatly and placed it under the door. That was it. No arguments, no drama. Just an end. I sat on the couch, waiting, listening for the sound of the key turning in the lock, for her footsteps, For the moment she would read those words and realize everything had changed. But she didn't return that night. She didn't return the next day either. And the silence between us became louder than any fight we could have had. I cycled through a storm of emotions. Anger, sorrow, disbelief. It was all tangled in a knot I couldn't undo. But through it all, one thing became clear to me. This wasn't just about her betrayal. It was also about me. About the person I had become trying to hold onto something that had been slipping away for a long time. I had spent so much time clinging to a version of her that didn't exist anymore, and maybe never had. And in doing so, I'd lost a part of myself. But I wouldn't be that person anymore. I wasn't going to be the fool again,